our sons to use their big voices. Hopefully the garage helps us with that. So without further ado, I know you're not here to hear me talk. I would like to introduce Angie and Crystal Callahan.
Thank you all for coming. Just as we do in our life, I think come from different directions and meet up and see each other. But together we had the honor of co-chairing this campaign committee, and it was rewarding to say the least. And it was for this amazing site, and I'm not talking about this parking garage. Although I must say, Brandy and Barb and team, you did a great job of cleaning it up. No, but seriously, it's a wonderful day to celebrate and tour this life-changing facility, which we will do after our short program here. But before that, I want to acknowledge a few of our guests, starting with our elected officials that are kind enough to be included here. I know that County Executive Kirkman is here. Thank you. With it being election year, I would probably forget who is the actual current elected official and not, but I see many of you in the audience, and thank you for supporting us.
We have many to thank for the New Children's Library, and obviously many of you are here today. Your monetary contributions, support, and encouragement have truly been an inspiration. You have recognized the need in this community and have responded overwhelmingly. I believe we are all here today because we know the impact early education and literacy will have on a child's life and their future. Getting to this point doesn't happen by chance or alone, but with the help of many. We do want to individually acknowledge and thank a few individuals that have carried a heavy load in this capital campaign. Of course, our honorary chairperson, Ms. Betsy Brown, thank you. As well as many library staff, but Jeremy in the back, thank you very much. And truly, it's been an experience. Many ups and downs, but we're here, and it's here, and it's just a phenomenal. I can't wait for y'all to see it. But for the kids and the families in this neighborhood, it's going to be a huge, huge thing for them.
Right. Yeah, for those of you that early on we met in this same space around a little bit more clutter and dust, and inside even, same kind of condition. When you walk through these doors in a few minutes, you're going to be amazed at the transformation. And it's going to transform lives, let's be honest, right? So exciting news. Before I turn it over to Keisha Jones, who's our president of our Kenosha Public Library Foundation, I am going to say that we want to extend a special recognition to our leader, KPL's director, Barb Bradley. During our brief time working with Barb on this campaign, we quickly realized what a treasure that the library and the city has. In fact, so many accomplishments that's what the main reason that we had to write our notes. If you did not know, her tenure of over 10 years has included a number of advancements and initiatives that have enhanced the library's role. And if you didn't know, she's going to be retiring at the end of, or the beginning of August this year. So. But those that she included, she secured a 2020 Library of the Year Award, ensuring ongoing professional development and excellence in service. Her foresight in integrating state-of-the-art automation, including self-checkout and self-check-in systems, streamline library operations to improve user experience. Under Barb's leadership, Kenosha Public Library joined the SHARE Consortium. A pivotal move that expanded access for Kenosha residents from 440,000 to over 2 million items, vastly broadening the horizons of our community's readers and learners. Barb's efforts extended the community through the establishment of the Kenosha Parks Alliance in collaboration with the City of Kenosha, YMCA, Boys and Girls Club of Kenosha. The initiative has played a crucial role in reducing youth crime rates in the city center, fostering a safer and more vibrant community. I feel that this children's library was her crowning jewel, if you will, and what a way to go out. But our job is not done here. In order for that jewel to last, it will have to continue to be shined. And that is all of our jobs moving forward. So please join me in giving her a heartfelt thank you for all that she has done. Her impressions will be seen for years to come, and the city is a better place for having her at the helm. With that, I would like to bring on Keisha Jones, our president of the Kenosha Public Library Foundation.
Thank you all so much. It's just such a privilege just to have you all here. And again, a big kudos to Barb for her leadership for this project that we've been able to accomplish. And I just want to give a big round of applause to the Callahans for the work that they did. Today, but as I look out in the crowd, it's all of you that are sitting here that have really made this come to life. With the kids at Uptown Library Project, you know we have the saying, the kid stands for the knowledge, the inspiration that's going to be here, the discovery that's going to be here, and the success that's going to be here. And none of this could be possible, please know, without each and every one of you that are here today that have made a commitment, no matter how big or small, to make this library a success. About 2 years ago, I was asked to be a part of the Kenosha Public Library Foundation. I think it was maybe 4 years ago, but in the officer role as the president, they didn't mention that we were building a library beneath the reservoir. So you guys have made it so easy for us to do. We're so thankful for the work that you all have done. And really what I just want to leave here with you today is that yes, you can see and you'll see all the magnificent work in this next room, that we are building a library. And for those of you in this community, you know what was here before this beautiful space that presently stands now. So yes, we are building a library, but you, each one of you, are helping us to build a legacy. And that legacy is going to stand forever. And it is truly for every child in this community. So I thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. We just are so grateful for all the energy, the effort, the time, the financial contributions and donations, everything that you have done to make this a success. So thank you.
Thank you, Keisha. So true. With that, I'd like to bring up our next speaker, someone that I proud to call a friend and mentor. I'm just going to give a few. And in his words, I said, not sure how long you're going to talk. He said, don't worry. I'll practice the 5 beats. He said, you know what that is, right? And I said, yeah, I think so. And he says, be brief, bro. Be brief.
Show of hands, how many of you, I work for Snap-on, how many of you heard our CEO, Nick Pinchuk, speak? Show of hands. I'm just going to let you know right now, I'm not Nick. All right. Good morning or good afternoon. I'm Michael Bond. I'm Director of Community Relations with Snap-on. At Snap-on, we consider ourselves fortunate to not only make the greatest tools in the world, but to make a difference in the communities in which we serve. Kenosha has been the wellspring of our success since 1930. Our CEO, Nick Pinchuk, says strategy is about choice. This is what I'm reading, okay, because this is what he said. I got to get this right. Strategy is about choice. We choose the rugged, critical path over the well-walked and sequential. Our choices define who we are. We are Snap-on. We are the bringers of prosperity, the bearers of pride and dignity, the deliverers of dreams, the shapers of lives, and lastly, we make a difference. Now, that's the one I want to focus on. We make a difference. Libraries make a difference. The Kenosha Children's Library will make a difference. And I can speak from personal experience. I'm just going to put this up. I can speak from personal experience because that's how I was driving in. My mind just started going back to when I was growing up in Toledo, Ohio. I discovered in a library and through books, books can transform you from your current situation to lands far and away. And it can actually take your essence and put you in a place. My first series of books, because I used to be just like all these other kids, television. I ended up going to the library. My mother dropped me off, and not dropped me off, she took me to the library. And she pulled out The Black Stallion. Who read The Black Stallion? Now, I'm 8 years old, and I read The Black Stallion, and I can remember literally transporting myself from my neighborhood to that ship and being on that island with that beautiful stallion. Didn't know what the stallion looked like. Used my imagination, and I just started to evolve in terms of the appreciation of reading. We read there were 13 books in that series. And I can remember me and my brother arguing because we always got 2 books. One of us finished the other book before the other one did. I was like, come on, man, hurry up. In addition, Tales of the Arabian Nights. Remember that one? I discovered that one. And that transformed me into a different culture, okay? And as an 8-year-old kid, you're talking about swashbuckling soldiers, and I mean, it just enamored me, okay? From there, I learned that, let's see, I want to check my notes. Oh yeah. I learned Frederick Douglass and Booker T. Washington. Now, Frederick Douglass, when he was enslaved, he said that he truly became a man when he confronted Kobe, who was his overseer. Kobe was a, what's the word basically? He basically handled unruly slaves. And he hired in Kobe, and Frederick Douglass whooped the crap out of Kobe. And he kept it quiet because he knew he was killed, all right? And Kobe didn't want that to get out. But at that time, he realized, well, he was finally a man. In addition, I read about Booker T. Washington traveling 500 miles after freedom just to get an education. And I'm thinking, my God, he walked 500 miles to Hampton Normal Institute, which is now Hampton University. And that stuck in my mind. Lastly, I read about Abraham Lincoln and how Abraham Lincoln had very little formal education, but because of his desire and his intensity and his tenacity, he rose to become president of the United States and became a lawyer. And he could barely read, but he took, wherever he went, he brought his books with him. And working out, he brought his books with him. He was constantly reading. And it's funny. I can remember when I was at the University of Toledo, and I'm going through struggles and turmoil and questioning whether or not I can do anything, whether or not I can do it. And my mind went back to Abraham Lincoln and the fact that wherever he went, he carried that book with him. So that's exactly what I did. I just started bringing my notes everywhere I went, and it made a difference. And the reason I'm bringing all this up is all these memories came to me when I was driving in the neighborhood, okay? And I just remember the fact that when I was in the 5th grade, now, the skills gap, or the education gap, it hasn't, the reading gap, let's put it that way. That's nothing new. But when I was in the 5th grade, there were other kids who couldn't read at the grade level. Now we got the 7th grade level already. Because I've been introduced to books. And that made a place for knowledge. So, lastly, like I said, Snap-on makes a difference. I'll leave you with this. I'm Director of Community Relations, and we have a process where we request some donations. But I wanted to make a direct appeal to our CEO, Nick Pinchuk. And when you go in there to talk to Nick Pinchuk, you better have your eyes dotted and T's crossed. But I wanted to share with you the power of the library in a well-placed environment. Because there are so many families out there that are looking for resources. And as I matriculate through my life, I think about what works for me. And if that library had not been in that community, what would my mother have done? And there it is. And that's exactly what I told to Mr. Pinchuk. And so I'm here to say that Snap-on has made a sizable donation. That's all I'm going to say. It's sizable. And Snap-on's been here since 1930, and we'll continue to be here. And we're committed to Kenosha. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And that means so much to have companies that have their headquarters here to be invested in something like this. It's going to be more than, you know. The next speaker I want to bring up, I know is going to also help in continuing the support of the library, and it doesn't stop here, like I said. Our current mayor, David Bagdal.
I don't think so. That's what my wife told me. Welcome, everybody. This is an amazing opportunity. I'm so excited to see so many people here, so many familiar faces, so many friendly faces who, you know, again, everything we do in Kenosha, really we do together. And this is something, when I look at it, this is something we've done together. We brought this forward. I see my good friend, Ms. Brown. I promised you that we would finish this and it would be open. Now, she also said she wants more monies for libraries, so. So she's always in my ear, making sure that we're going to do that, and we are. And the reason we're going to do that is because of what this library represents. It represents an opportunity for our young people to be able to have what so many of us take for granted. And the ability to read, the ability to converse, the ability to have a place of their own where they can enjoy the things that we all took for granted growing up. How many times I go into the library with my mom to pick out a book to read, for her to make sure that I understood what it was, to ask questions, to go through all of that. And that's what we're doing here in this neighborhood. And then this is going to be something, again, that it's not a program that's here for a few weeks or months or a summer. This is here forever. And it's because of everybody in this room. And I do want to call out, I'd like for all the aldermen who are here at City Council, all the aldermen, please stand up. They need to be recognized. This would not be possible without all of their efforts as well. You know, when you're an elected official, you know, you take the heat. Usually you don't get a phone call because somebody's calling to tell you what a great job you're doing. Once in a while, but most of the time it's because somebody's upset. And when we were doing this, and I heard it pretty loud and clear, why are we building a library? Why are we spending money? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And having to have the intestinal fortitude to keep pushing forward. And this city council, prior city council, my predecessor, who really helped put forth the vision and things that we wanted to do here, really made sure that this was going to go forward. So to the city council members, thank you all very much. To our partners who made this happen, I always thought I heard Michael say, talking about checks, I'll be in next week. We'll talk about some things because I'm doing it for this lady right here. So I do want to thank you all. I'm so excited, looking forward to the opportunities that we have in front of us. This truly is going to be transformative for our community. And there are so many transformative efforts that are happening all across Kenosha that you've all been a part of. I thank you all for being here today. I look forward to doing this. We did it. We did it with everybody in this room. So give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you all.
How appropriate. One of his friends is now their next speaker. So I want to call on Betsy Brown.
I first want to acknowledge what has been said before from the other speakers about the value of the library here and what it is going to mean to all of the children. That is not the essence of my remarks today. Of course, my heart is with all of this. As true for so many of you, I fell in love with libraries as soon as I could read. And that love steered me to a vocation. Although my short career as a professional librarian was in academic libraries, behind the scenes as a cataloger, I have never lost my relationship with the People's Library, supported by the community. The Kenosha Public Library system is the People's Library. A bit of history. I think this is important probably for many of you in this room. What constitutes the Kenosha Public Library system today bears little resemblance to what existed in 1962 when Howard and I moved to Kenosha. At that time, the KPL consisted of one central library, the Gilbert Simmons building, built in 1900, which was so stuffed with books that books were also stored in an off-site location and recovered a day or two after a request. The children's section was relegated to a separate building on 8th Avenue. Supporting the Simmons Library were 3 satellite libraries, a storefront on Roosevelt Road near 39th Avenue, a second storefront at 22nd Avenue and Washington Road, and a third, a freestanding building on 63rd Street known as the West Side Library and still in use today. There was also a book trailer which visited areas of the city several times a week, and I really don't know where it went. Went to schools or went to playgrounds, I really don't know. And incidentally, the librarian who was in charge of the book trailer was also named Betsy Brown. Two referenda to build a large central library in downtown Kenosha failed. And when I look back 4 decades at the arguments made for the downtown location, I am amused by our reasoning. Everyone in Kenosha, our reason was that downtown was a thriving retail market. Professional offices, banks, and the post office, as well as both hospitals, were located east of Sheridan Road. Everyone in Kenosha had to come downtown. Well, in retrospect, the failure of the referendum was a godsend. Kenosha's population experienced growth south, west, and north, and a downtown central library would have become a dinosaur. By 1978, a new head librarian, Ginny Cooper, was hired. Ginny had vast experience in the Hennepin County, which is Minneapolis, library system, and led her board to adopt a strategic plan which decentralized the Kenosha Public Library system. Starting with an application to the city for federal CBDG, that's Community Block Development Grant, money, the first step was to relocate the Washington Road branch farther north on 22nd Avenue, to larger quarters in a strip mall. And at the new location, library usage immediately soared. The strategic plan included a substantially larger freestanding library, our now Southwest, built in 1981 at the location of the Southwest part of Kenosha, replacing Roosevelt Road frontage. And then 12 years later, the plan called for building a large freestanding library on 14th Place, replacing the strip mall on North 22nd. And the first real bookmobile was published secondhand by the Friends of the Library in the early 1980s. With Miss Cooper's experience and vision, coupled with the savvy leadership of Library President Patricia Johnson of blessed memory, the Kenosha Public Library was on a roll to becoming what we have today. In the 1980s, none of us could envision what the internet would play. That the internet would play such an important role in delivering library service swiftly and conveniently to its patrons. The decentralized system serves our community perfectly. Libraries have always been silent teachers, providing the tools for learning. Today, we enter a new phase. The library is the outspoken teacher. And around you are, hopefully, like you walk inside, new ways to bring the joys of learning to Kenosha's children and their parents. The librarians here will establish the foundation for a learned population on which Kenosha's future depends. The location in Uptown speaks well of the commitment of the library administration and the library board to serve a new collaborative neighborhood. Don't sit still. Where will the next French library be built to serve Kenosha? To use a cliche of my husband's, the future lies ahead. My personal thanks to Barbara Bratton and to former Mayor John Antaranian and to President Ayer and David Bogdala. Thanks for those nice remarks, David. For their vision, and to the City Council for supporting the library's budget. During Barb's years as director, she led the KPL to state recognition. A lot of what she has done was mentioned by importantly, during the COVID years, she kept the library available to readers. Barb was eager to see expansion of the system, harping back to Ginny Cooper's 80s. In addition to thanking Barb, my special thanks to the library staff for their ideas and to all the donors and the exceptional team of librarians, captained by Crystal and Callahan and others on the committee. I'd like to name, but run the risk Would all of you please stand for applause? Please, there are a lot of you here. New day has dawned, and I'm excited for the future.
Thank you, Betsy. All right, I think everyone's a little warm. We're about to get into air conditioning, but not without our last speaker. Some say the most important. Barbara.
I know you're too warm and it's really nice and cool in there. I just want to thank you. Thank you for welcoming me to Kenosha and for allowing me to be your library director for 10 years. It has been my honor and my privilege, and this is the crowning jewel. I can't wait for you to see it.
I think this is the most fabulous thing I've ever seen. I'm a retired kindergarten teacher, and this is just amazing. Children are going to love it.
I think it's a lovely place for children to learn.
We are so excited to just have everyone here today for this grand opening of the Kenosha Public Library Kids at Uptown. This project has been such an amazing venture for our community and the legacy. We're building a library, but we're also building a legacy for future generations. The library is a place of learning, a place of knowledge, discovery, success, and so we just hope that the community will be inspired. And it's just an exciting time just to celebrate this occasion. So thank you all for coming out, and we're just so glad for all the community support that the community has given to this library.
Well, I am so impressed with the facility here. It's absolutely fantastic. As a former educator, both my wife and I, former teachers, we believe in the importance of reading and everything that goes along with it. It's just an amazing, like I said, amazing facility, and we're really proud to be part of it.
I'll echo that. We actually substitute teach for grade school kids, and we know the impact of books, but I also love their emphasis on play and physical interaction and limiting some of the screens that sometimes kids maybe have too much of in their lives. It's a big, bright, beautiful space, and I think it's going to be a gem of the downtown.
I wish I were a kid again. I wish my children were kids and I could bring them here. I'm impressed beyond the written word. I am impressed beyond the words. This is going to be an exciting place for children. Again, congratulations to all who had a part in putting this together.